Did you know that Latino macho men are the reason why Democrats are potentially losing the election?
Yep, that's what's happening.
According to political analyst Mike Madrid, his book just came out, the Latino Century author, coming out, just out right now, Latino GOP political consultant. Can we talk about machismo? There's something disturbing developing as Latino voters shift to the right. Fletcher, are they shifting to the right? Is that true? Come on, that can't be true.
Well, I don't know.
Come on.
I mean, I've always been on the right, but I do see a few people now getting a little bit righty. So,
Okay. Progressives on my TL have begun attacking Latinos as too ignorant. What?
What?
Those ignorant Latinos, can't
What?
they just do what we say?
What? You mean we
To
gotta
understand
get
what
IDs?
they're, what's that?
We got to get IDs and learn how to use computers.
Oh my God, it did not. Latinos too ignorant to understand what they're voting for, or culturally regressive, i.e. religious, misogynistic, or racist. Sounds like Star Wars fans.
Yep, darn Star Wars fans. Strike again.
Woo! Woo! He goes on to say, this is an epic, what do you call it? A thread, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, here we go. The Democratic
See?
Party is becoming less diverse. It's getting wider, wealthier, more college educated, and progressive in its views. As it becomes more monolithic, it becomes more critical of those who don't agree with the tribe, especially when it's people of color. Oh,
Dun, dun,
what is
dun.
going on here? What is going on here? Ah,
Darn people of color again.
darn stupid ass Mexicans.
Would have gotten away with it too if he wasn't for those pesky short Mexicans that are trying to get into the acolyte.
But no one's saying this. But Mike Madrid is saying it. And they're not saying this enough. Thank God. People like Mike Madrid, Brian from the Daily Cella actually say, these guys get a lot of shit just for saying this. They get a lot of slack. Sorry, Fletcher. Get a lot of slack. Mike Madrid continues to say, I dealt with the same thing for 30 years in the GOP. Curiously, progressives are only pointing out that Latino culture is macho as Latinos shift rightward. I never heard this voice for the past 30 years when Latinos were voting for Democrats at rates of 70+%. So he's saying in his political vast experience that this was never a problem.
Right.
Machismo, whatever they're calling it now, as long as they were voting for the Democrats.
That's right. As long as we were in line,
Never a problem.
Nope.
Never a problem. Pero ahora, you better straighten up like George Lopez.
That's right, you darn taco eaters. No piñatas for you.
No piñatas. So if progressives are just now levying the attack of misogyny on Latinos now, is machismo something that skips a generation or two? Or is this accusation really about minorities not behaving the way whites expect them to behave? Let's explore that. I love this. I absolutely love this. Most of the machismo criticism I hear is anecdotal. Example, in quote, my brother-in-law, my neighbors, etc. I never hear anything that's evidence-based. Granted, quantifying cultural attributes is difficult. Culture by its nature is subjective. I gotta tell you, man, Mike is on point. Because, and I always hear this from my lovely white liberals, Libby the libtard from WeHo, just importing and exporting Mexican curios, mark them up at 4 times the rate, but they will be the first to tell you how the Latino culture is and how we should behave.
That's right.
Absolutely amazing, Fletcher.
That's right. And pay $7 for a taco. Salsa is extra.
No, yeah, chips and salsa, way extra.
Way extra.
Way extra. In writing The Latino Century, I examined the cultural trope of machismo from a data driven perspective. Politically, there's no better way to examine it than if Latinos support women in public life. Agree. What I found may shock white folks, but it's not a surprise to most Latinos. Latinos elect women at higher rates than any other race or ethnicity in America.
Are you saying we like women?
We like the women. In fact, Latinas are close to accomplishing something that white women have never been able to accomplish since suffrage 100 years ago: parity in representation. In fact, I wrote a whole chapter on this called The Flip Side of Machismo. I actually considered a second book on this because I believe the emergence of Latinas in political power will be one of the driving forces of structural change in our democracy. From my book, in California, home to the country's largest Latino population, fully 60% of Hispanic state legislatures are women, 19 women to 13 men. That's right. Latinos have elected more women than men to office, but it's not just in blue states. Here we go. More from the Latino Century in red Texas. Hello, Texas. Yeehaw, Texas. The country's second largest Hispanic state, 23 Latinos and 18 Latinas serve in the legislature. 44% of Hispanic legislatures are women. Nationally, 425 Latino legislatures, 39% are women compared to 33% whites. This is all strong evidence that the Latinization of America will result in considerably more female representation in our government as we become a more Latino country. The attack of Latino culture as machismo is hard to reconcile with data showing the emergence of women in political, social, corporate, and community leadership. No, it's a lazy, bigoted trope attacking a community that isn't behaving the way minorities are supposed to behave. I cannot find any fault in what Mike has just thrown down here, Fletcher. In fact, the one thing I want to add, and I want to give props to the men's here, because he talks about how Latinos and Latino men have supported female electors, whatever it is, right?
Right.
I say this, right, and this is fantastic. What a macho man does is he gets up every day and he goes to work for his family, generation after generation, doing the work that is very hard to do. Why? Because that macho man wants his kids to go to college, to go and do something to elevate themselves from his position. And that's why the Latino man, then in the Mexican American man has there's millions of them, has been a great father figure, a great role model, kept the family together. Macho men, machismo gets a bad rap, starting from our white liberal friends. And I think that is a huge no-no. So I say, who raises this generation of Latinos, rears them for college? It's their dads. Give them the props. It can't just be the mothers, and we love our mothers, absolutely 100%. But 100%, it's mi papa. Those guys are OG, Fletcher. They go out there and do the work.
Oh yeah, it's hardworking people. And
hardworking people
start taking a little bit of too much of their money. They're fine with giving some, and they're fine with being generous. But at the same time, there's, they have to be able to say, okay,